Hello friends and welcome back to the channel where today I'm going to walk you through how to do the second week of the Big Blue Boss Rush. And once again I want to remind you that once you go into this quest you cannot back out or it will consume your ticket. So you need to revive once you're in the quest here. So we'll start off with fight number 1, which is Ghost. Ghost is stun immune. She has some stuff on her that punishes you if you miss, but you really don't ever need to hit into her while she's invisible. The big danger in this node is encroaching stun. You can see that gray timer on me. So somebody with some passive power gain is really going to be beneficial here. Serpent is really good. Hyperion also very good. But anybody else with some sort of like alternate means of gaining power is going to be good. You can do this fight with pretty much anybody if you're aggressive enough and always save a special attack. But somebody like Serpent makes this a lot easier. In addition, Serpent has that true sense or true focus buff. So if you do happen to hit into Ghost while she's invisible, you're not going to get punished for it. The other node that you need to watch out for here is redlining. So when you're above a third of a bar of power, you'll notice my combat power rate is increasing. If I get too far above 2 bars of power, I get power drained completely. Serpent also really good for this, as you saw right there, because when the power drain occurs, its potency is reduced by his ability. So rather than losing all of my power, I only lost half my power, and that ended up helping me quite a bit here. So probably could have played this a little bit more aggressive. I was trying to like be super fancy and try for like a no damage run, but you know, just keep one eye on the left side of the screen. You got to watch that encroaching stun timer at all times. One thing you can kind of do to help save yourself is keep a striker available. If you run max limber, like you probably should be, if you throw your striker right as the encroaching stun timer is about to go off, and I'm talking like the absolute last possible instant, the striker will cover like the majority of the stun duration, and you'll come out of the striker without being stunned. So little kind of like get out of jail free trick there that you can use. But otherwise, like this is definitely the easiest fight I think in this quest. And one more special one, and down she goes. All right, moving on, we have a Punisher 2099. This is, you know, I just said Ghost was the easiest fight. This is probably the actual easiest fight. So Punisher has nothing really going on in this fight. He has the heal or hide node, so you see the regen timer on his side of the screen. If you're close to him when that timer goes up, he's going to start to heal. If you're far away, you get the regen. So free healing in this fight as long as you can properly time your distance to him. The good thing is that you really can't punish his specials, especially his special 2 is going to push you far away. So if you kind of time the special 2 with the regen, you'll always be able to get it. In addition, somebody with buffs is really going to do well here. The more buffs that you have, the slower that his battery is going to charge. And he has like some sort of like maximum overdrive node. I can't remember exactly what it does, but it didn't seem to impact me too much on any of my runs. This was the final run I ended up doing for this week's side event. So yeah, you can see I'm pretty much consistently pushing him to the special 2 here and trying to line it up with that regen. If the regen timer is close to going off, I'm just backing up so I can get that sweet regen. And yeah, I used the special 3 rotation first just to ramp up Serpent. We couldn't do that in the previous fight, of course, because of redlining, but for longer fights with larger health pools like this one, using the special 3 first with Serpent is always my preference. He is going to get some natural regen at the end here. That sucks. I took like a snap combo or whatever. But we triggered the regen anyways, and we're going to finish this fight with close to full health. I don't think we yellow bar, but it's fine. Like, Serpent is super tanky, and that doesn't really matter here. Going to full combo into the special 2, and that will seal the deal. Alright, moving on to fight number 3. A lot of good options for this fight. This is a guillotine. Now, if you prevent her miss with like a true sense effect, or something else, she gets a Fury. The Fury doesn't really matter because remember, Guillotine can't crit. She's not really going to do a lot of damage. In addition, whenever you dex, you're going to get debuffs on yourself, a heal block, a taunt, and a disorient. That's going to reduce the ability accuracy of your parry stun, so you do have to be careful there. Photon, phenomenal for this fight because the debuffs that you're putting on her when you dex also ramp you, as you can see. So we're only a few seconds into this fight, and a couple of dexes have already pushed us into 25 charges, and we're already up in pure light form. And now, once we're in pure light form, Photon cannot miss at all, so I don't really have to worry about knocking her down and putting her Digi-Cloak, or whatever it's called, on cooldown. So we're going to try and push her to the special 2 as much as possible. Remember, with Photon, you want to make sure that you are punishing her special attacks or punishing guillotine special attacks rather, so that you can pause the cooldown on your pure light form. So the more you keep tempo in this fight, punish special attacks, the longer you'll be able to stay in like your mega damage phase. Now we are getting some of our healing reverse there from Spectre. I'm not really worried about it. You can see it's just single digits, so it's not really a big problem. Once you're in pure light form, I prefer the special 1 because it places those overload debuffs on guillotine, and it's gonna be really close here, but we are going to finish her off before we actually run out of charges here. So full combo into the striker, and a couple of really nice crits at the end, finish her off. Alright, next up is Mysterio. This is absolutely the most difficult fight in this quest. So he has a bunch of nodes on him. He's got a falter node, similar to the regen node on Punisher, where if you are far away from him, he will get faltered. If you're close, you're going to get faltered. In addition, you really need to be using a science champ here, or somebody who is poison immune. You can see that just hitting into him is going to place a poison debuff on you. Science champs can clear this poison by either dexing or parrying, or you can use a poison immune champ of any other class. I think science champs, Photon again, just the absolute best option for this fight, because he also has a node where once you gain a bar of power, he's going to gain a power gain buff, and that's going to push him, that's going to give him a 100% of a bar of power. So if you are not careful, you can absolutely push him up to the special 3 without even realizing it. In addition, you really want to be pushing him to his special 2 in this fight, and with Photon, you don't have to worry about his invisibility, messing with your tempo here. In the special 1, if he throws the special 1, you really have to back off, and if you dex, he's got that counter-strike node, so eventually he's going to be unblockable. So he'll be unblockable, you can't hit into him because of the damage reflect, and then he's going to be pushing you into the corner, and you're going to be faltered. So it's just a lot of really annoying stuff. If you get cornered in this fight, it's really, really bad. I did a previous run on this fight with Anti-Venom, managed to get the solo, but it took like 4 or 5 minutes. Photon, I think, is absolutely the best option here if you have a Photon. So we went into Pure Light form. We already ran out of Pure Light form. But yeah, Photon's ability to counter miss easily is really the lifesaver in this fight. Alright, last fight is Ironheart. You want to do this with a Saga champ at least once for an objective. Scream is a Saga champ. I also did this fight once with Nico Minoru. She's also very good here. So Ironheart has the node where she starts off in like a shock phase, where if you hit her block, you get a shock debuff on you. And then she switches into a phase where she's passively unblockable. You won't get shocked, but you need to be like really good at dexing her special attacks here. So you can more or less do Scream's like normal rotation here. Obviously, you can't trigger auto block while Ironheart is fully unblockable, so you do have to kind of like, hit into her block and bait heavy attacks. Or you can do what I'm doing here and just kind of waiting out the unblockable so that you can safely parry her, and then just go into your normal rotation. I found it pretty difficult in this fight with Scream to like get a lot of armor breaks and bleeds on Ironheart. So it is a bit, of a slower fight by Scream standards, but it's still pretty nice. The armor breaks are also, if I'm looking at this correctly, removing the passive armors that are building up on her every few seconds, which is really nice too. Otherwise, she's going to be like really tanky. Normally, you would have to remove those passive armors by purposely hitting her block, which you can only do in the unblockable phase, unless you have a shock immune champ. The other thing that you want to pay attention to is that parries will trigger those passive heal blocks on you, and then the Fate Seal that you see on myself, that is only for regen buffs, so that's how the rest of Scream's natural buffs are getting through here. I think I take this special too. Yeah, take a little bit of damage there, mistiming it, but she's almost dead, so no worries there about taking a hit. I'm going to fire off this special 1, and that's going to be pretty much all she wrote. So yeah, it took me all 5 runs to get like a really clean run through this, but hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, please let me know in the comments below. Share it with anybody who might be struggling with this quest, and as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.